Aries. Welcome to Monarch Intuition, and today I'm going to be doing your October 2022 monthly check-in reading for you. So if you're new to my channel, what I like to do is I like to pull one major arcana to see the energy and then clarify with a different deck. Now, it's important to understand that we've gone into Libra season, and Libra is your opposite sign. So what you need to know for this time period is that you need to rethink plans and make sure that they have a solid foundation. Make sure that they're equally balanced, okay? Because when it goes into Libra season, you might be feeling a little bit more impulsive than usual. However, what you were supposed to do is go into your descending sign energy and find that balance. So for example, maybe you're about to travel, right? You're about to go to like a different country. Maybe you've made all of these different plans within your life, but you have to go back and look at things one last time. You have to go back and look at something that could go wrong, something that's very minor, maybe you haven't put much attention and detail into, and really think that plan all the way through. For example, you might be wanting to go to a different country and you already have your passport, your visa, your hotel picked out. You have everything planned for your trip, right? However, what you haven't thought about is where are the hospitals and where's the consulate for your country in that particular country. Those are two things that are very important to understand when you're traveling to, somewhere you've never been before. For example, what happens if you get sick and you really need to go to a hospital? You can't just rely on the locals to tell you where the hospital is in an emergency. You can't rely on the locals to help you if, say, you lose your passport. You have to make these plans on your own. So you're not going into Queen of Wand energy. You need to go into like this Emperor authoritarian energy. It could be as something as simple as you get into an Uber car and the person says, oh yeah, I know how to get there, but you should probably have the Google Maps on your phone just in case. I'm not saying this is to like be a backseat driver. This is not to, micromanage people. However, you really need to be in this emperor energy. An emperor does not just sit on his throne and have people come up and bow down and worship him, right? He's planning war, he's planning conquest, he's listening to his advisors, he's listening to all these different people, and he's making sure that everything has to run smoothly within his kingdom. So, what major arcana needs to come out for the sign of Aries? We have the Strength card. This represents very strong foundations within your life. So when I see the Strength card, it is the angel of strength, the angel coming in to shut the mouth of the lion. This can also represent the first trial of Hercules, Hercules slaying Leo the lion. So when we think about strength, this is you making certain plans within your life that are foolproof, okay? For example, if you're building a beautiful house and you're wanting to have this house stand the test of time, say like 1,000, 2,000 years, that one small crack in the foundation, it's going to get worse over time. So even if you've already laid out a foundation, you say, oh, it's just a tiny little crack. No, that tiny little crack will eventually be the downfall of everything, all right? You have to go back and look at that crack and say, hey, maybe there's underground water right here. And that's something that can happen a lot of times is when people put their houses down or put down foundations, they don't realize that there's actually like an underground stream, and that underground stream is pushing pressure up into people's home foundations and could crack them over time. So when we look at the Strength card, this also represents, you wanting to build your house on the solid rock, not on like the sand. There's an old biblical song of saying, the wise man built his house upon the rock and the foolish man built his house upon the sand. So this is what you need to do right here. Maybe you've made plans. Go back and look at those plans one last time because, there are just all these little minor things that could happen that could be a major conflict within your life. For example, it could be something as simple as, school has started and you're about to take a test. Maybe you're reading all of this, what you think to be really important information on this test, and you've kind of skimmed over like these little cliff notes over here. Have you ever taken a test where you think you know all the major information, but the test is really on like these three small things that you didn't pay attention to? I kind of feel like that's something that you need to look at, Aries. You need to give this as much time and attention as this over here. You need to understand things, to a very thorough concept. So let's look at your Revelations Tarot. What's going on with this? So I'm going to pull 3 cards from the Revelations Tarot. This deck does have reversals. We have the Nine of Swords upright. we have the Knight of Wands in reversed, and we have the Death card. So what you need to see right here is you really need to temper your impulses, because the Nine of Swords is that this represents some sort of anxiety. The Knight of Wands in reverse is actually a really good energy to have right here, because you're holding back on your horses. You're not wanting to rush thoroughly into a situation. You're holding back and saying, no, let me rethink this situation. Let me see this all the way through. And what you're going to realize is that there's death, okay? Now, what you have to look at right here is with this death energy, this can be a major deal. For example, when the war with Ukraine and Russia started, what happened to all the Russians who were just out there in the world? Well, their bank accounts got frozen. They were stuck where they were. And that's kind of what this is right here. This is you understanding and making plans for that, because you don't know how the world is going. The world's crazy right now, right? So if you're saying, I just want to take a couple of week adventure off into, whatever country, and then all of a sudden the planes stop, flying, your bank accounts get frozen, all these different things, are you going to be okay in that situation? This is you holding back and saying, let me look at this situation all the way through, and you're going to notice something. You're going to notice this Nine of Swords, something that you may have not noticed before. And this Nine of Swords could be potentially this death energy. Now, something that you need to do is not overthink a situation and think like just the worst thing could happen, but plan for it, okay? It's just something as simple as that. All right, so if I'm going to make this trip, where is the consulate? Where is, the hospital? What would happen if this emergency rose up? Okay, well, I have these things planned out. Let me go on my trip. Let me be happy. So, what's this Nine of Swords energy? Let's look at it. You have the Eight of Pentacles and you have the Page of Swords. You're working very hard on all these small minor details, because remember, the Page of Swords is kind of like this spy energy, and you're working very meticulously with this Virgo energy. You're looking at something and you're working on it very hard. You're crafting all these Eight Pentacles, giving all these Pentacles time and attention that they need, and you're looking at it and you're saying, oh, there's that one final Pentacle that I haven't paid attention to. This is the one thing that's going to cause me anxiety on this trip. And it could be something as simple as, maybe you're all packed up, ready to go, and then maybe you've forgotten to put your pills in like the pill case and take it with you, like put it in your carry-on bag. Like, it's something small and very minor. It's not something that you need to, go round and around your head about, but there is something that if you don't pay attention to it, it could be something as simple as, leaving your contacts. Like, you have your glasses on your head, but you left your contacts. Like, it's not going to be detrimental, but you're not going to be able to, take off your glasses and have, I wear glasses, I wear contacts. I personally prefer to wear contacts when I'm going to take pictures and do videos and things of that nature. So, sometimes people don't like to wear their glasses when they go out in public, or wear their glasses every day. They feel like they look better without them. So maybe it's something as like, man, I really wish that I could have remembered to bring my contacts with me. So let's look at this Knight of Wands. It's something very small, very minor. Maybe you've paid attention to it, but you've just kind of glossed over it, not really paid attention. So Knight of Wands, Ace of Swords with the Empress energy. This is something that you need to really think about right here, because the Ace of Swords is information, right? And the Empress represents land and country itself. So when we are born in a country, we are associated to that Empress. For example, if you're born in America, like the United States, you are a United States citizens. If you're born in Canada, you're a Canadian, right? And we oftentimes name our countries after females. So, because that is what gives us birth, that's what gives us our life energy. So if you're wanting to move forward, you need to pay attention to the energy of this Empress. What is the thought process behind this Empress? Because, when you go to certain countries, a lot of them will, want to scam you. A lot of people will purposefully get you lost. Like, look at that movie Hostel. I know this is really bad to talk about, because it's not about, plaguing your mind with anxiety, but be aware of the people who you're around. If you want to go and party, if you want to go on these trips, be aware of the people who could potentially take you to these underground clubs and whatnot. Do they have nefarious intentions? Are they very bad people? Because we live in a world, and this is something that I talked about in Capricorn's reading a couple of weeks ago, and they took it very well, so I'm going to tell you, Aries. We live in a world that is not perfect. It is flawed. People are bad. All right, not everyone is bad, but some people are bad, okay? Some people want to hurt you, and some people want to kill you. That's a fundamental fact of life, all right? You could tell, everyone in the world, hey, this is bad, hurting people like this is bad, whatever. The majority of the population is going to believe you. However, that's going to be that very small percentage of people who don't, and who don't care about the law, who don't care about, a governing order and whatnot. Be aware of those people if you're traveling to a certain place. Think about that. Maybe your child's like, oh, I just met some people, I want to go hang out with them, blah, blah, blah. Do you know those people, Aries? Are they really old enough to make those decisions? I'm not saying to be overbearing, but this is not the time period to just be like, oh, it's whatever, be impulsive, have fun. No, Libra energy, because remember, the Empress is representation of Libra and Taurus, balancing out the masculine and feminine, because Taurus is feminine, Libra is masculine. So you're having this information about this Empress right here and saying, hold your horses, because that's what the Knight of Wands in reverse is. He's wanting to rush, and then all of a sudden he pulls back the reins and the horses stop. He's like, what's the danger to this? What is the information that I'm missing? Let me think about this. And then he's going to find the flaw, and then he's going to find the Knight of Swords. He's going to be like, oh, no. That leads into this death energy right here. Now, it doesn't have to be, a physical death. As once again I said, it could just be something as simple as you left your, your contacts on the counter, and now you can't take all those cute little selfies because you don't like the way you look in glasses. It's something, it could be something minor. So let's look at this death energy. What's this? We have the Eight of Wands. We have the Two of Swords. Yeah, it's moving very quickly. You can't see it at first, but remember, hindsight is 20/20. Like, you're sitting there thinking about the situation. It's coming in fast. You can't see it. You're like, oh yeah, go be impulsive. And then all of a sudden you're like, oh no, that's what it is with that Nine of Swords energy. So before you just allow yourself to make decisions, be impulsive, just run out the door, double check everything. Double check to make sure, you turned off all your electronics, your stove is turned off, whatever it is. And I'm not saying to be, compulsive about this energy. It's just that that's what the cards are saying. There is something that's minor. It's Libra season. You have to make sure things are balanced. It's really, what, 30 days total? So a little bit less, not even 30 days. It's a little bit less too, because we've already moved into the energy. So what else is going on for Aries? What else do we need to know? Four of Cups, Knight of Cups, the Ten of Cups. The Four of Cups, he's got his arms crossed. He's looking at his three cups on the ground. This is you looking at all your plans, right? And the universe is offering this one cup to you. The universe wants you to take this cup and ride victoriously and say, I remembered it. I had it. Because maybe you're not paying attention to it. You think you have everything planned out. You think that everything in your life is going good. Why do you need this fourth cup? It leads you to the Ten of Cups right here. Just paying attention to small, minor things within your life is going to lead you into this Ten of Cups energy towards like the mid-month, maybe the end of the month, maybe the end of Libra season. It's all about tying up loose ends, paying attention to the small, minor details of things. And the universe is basically handing it to you. The universe could be like giving you signs and synchronicities, like, for example, hindsight is always 20/20. You pay attention to the signs and synchronicities after the event has played out. So pay attention. Maybe you're seeing like, a lot of optometry ads. Maybe you're seeing like ads for glasses, ads for contacts, whatever, right? And that's the universe saying, hey, remember to pack it in your bag. Like, before you leave that night, make sure everything is put where it needs to be. Maybe have you ever been on a trip and then all of a sudden you realize that you forgot to pack your toothbrush? Like, it's really a fucking minor inconvenience. Like, it's not something that's going to ruin your whole trip, but it's going to be something that ruins your day. It's going to be something that ruins everyone's day who's around you, right? So just remember that for yourself. Like, got all my toiletries packed up, got all my stuff packed up, got all my electronics, chargers. Here's the thing, something that I didn't realize is that, not everyone has universal wall adapters. You're going to have to buy wall adapters to fit the adapters in those countries. You can't take an American charger to like Europe and expect it to work. It doesn't work like that. So unless you're wanting to go stop your trip, go to like whatever their version of Walmart is, get an adapter to plug into the wall. Or it's something that you could just do here. They sell them at Walmart here, universal adapters for different countries. So that's kind of what it is. It's just remembering these small things. Read up on whatever you're doing right here. Pay attention to the small stuff that you really don't want to pay attention to. You have the Nine of Wands, you have the Tower, and you have the Fool energy. You can't go rushing into this situation right here, because if you go rushing into something, that's when the Tower falls apart. Now, you have two options right here. You have the options to pay attention to certain things and have this Ten of Cups energy, or you have this option to, it's kind of like, gosh, there's this movie, and I forgot the name of it. I think it had, I don't know if it was Jane Fonda in it or not. It was, The Out of Towners. Oh my gosh, that is a terrible movie. That's what this is right here. Nine of Wands, the Tower, and the Fool energy. The Out of Towners is about this couple. They want to go to New York. They've never been to New York. They're from like a small little sleepy community. And he gets this opportunity to go to New York to get this new job, right? Well, he takes his wife with him. Everything that went wrong, that could have possibly gone wrong, went wrong during this time period because they didn't have it planned out. So maybe that's something that you need to take a look at for yourself before you just go foolishly rushing into a Tower moment for yourself and getting hurt. Where are you going? What are you wanting to do? What is the situation? Who are the people you're going to be with? What is that line of text that you've just not been paying attention to? What are all these things that when you're rushing around, be it something as small and minor as, have you ever been, rushing around, getting ready, you go to work, and then all of a sudden, there's a stop sign that just got put up overnight that you never paid attention to before? Like, it's something like that. Like, that's happened to me before. I've, lived in the same neighborhood for years, and then all of a sudden, they just put up a random-ass stop sign. I was like, what the fuck? Like, it's just right there. And, a lot of people missed it. A lot of people got tickets from it. Like, it's something like that. And, when they put it up, the fucking cop was sitting behind someone's mailbox, and it was like a giant, wooden mailbox. Not wooden, but brick mailbox, and you couldn't really see it, especially if you're rushing to work. They were just getting tickets left and right. And it's something like that. It's something that could just ruin your day, right? Don't try to rush the lights right here. Don't try to just, take life and take risks right now. Balance it out. The Nine of Pentacles, the Seven of Cups, and the Page of Cups. Don't give into fantasies, all right? Don't give into impulse right here. You might be seeing a bunch of fantasies within your life like, ooh, that looks beautiful. I want to do that. Stick to your plan. Stick to what you want to do. I wouldn't say just be very, what's the word I'm looking for? People who don't want to make, who don't want to be impulsive. Like, there's a time to be impulsive, and then there's a time to say, hey, that looks like a bad idea. It's time to kind of critically think about those situations, right? The Nine of Pentacles represents that you have this very fun thing built for yourself. Maybe you have this solid foundation, like, I have my schedule all planned out. I'm going to go to work at this time. I'm going to go grocery shopping at this time. I'm going to go home and make my food at this time. You have everything planned out, right? You're on your trip. You're on your vacation. You're doing whatever you want to do. You have the Nine of Pentacles. You have this scheduled, planned, going off without a hitch, right? Then all of a sudden, the Seven of Cups with this Page of Cups pops up, and it's like, ooh, that looks really pretty. I want to take that. Don't take that cup right there. If the universe is offering you kind of healthy reminders within your life, it's okay to pay attention to those reminders. Like, if the universe is saying, hey, go and get your medical checkup, or hey, go and get your dental checkup, it's all these small little things that the universe is trying to hand off to you. Get this checked out. Do that for yourself. Make sure that this is done properly, not people coming up to you saying, hey, do you want to go hang out after 9? Hey, hang out to 12 p.m. with us, or 12 a.m. with us. Don't take impulsive decisions right here. Do healthy things for yourself. So let's look at your which is familiar tarot cards. So you might be getting opportunities to go out with people. I'd be very careful about that. I would stick to the plan. Stick to your plan, all right? It's all about Libra Emperor energy. The Emperor does not get off of his throne to just go gallivant in the kingdom at 2 in the morning without his royal robe and his royal ring on it, where everyone thinks he's a peasant, right? No, that's not what he would do. We have Raven, determination, and Spider, deception. Be determined to move forward with your plans. Be determined to look through everything, but understand that there is going to be deception. Someone could come up and say, like, in that Hostel movie, hey, you want to go hang out with us? You want to go party with us? Or like in that movie, The Collector, people are going into this underground rave. Like, it's something that is like, seems so fun and so like out there, but it's not something that is very healthy, okay? Now, let's look at your spellcasting oracle cards. Clarity and spirit guides. Here's the thing. If you stop yourself, right? If you say, hey, that looks really fun, I'm going to do that. And then you stop yourself, like right before you leave, you're like, no, let me think about this. Did I turn off everything? Is everything okay? Did I check my phone? Did I let someone know where I'm going? That's something that's very important. Letting someone know where you're going. Not just being impulsive and saying, oh, I'll get to that later. No, let someone know. I'm going out with such and such person at this time to this location, and don't change your location without telling someone. It's something so minor, right? Have someone you trust. With that clarity energy, you're going to say, oh, okay, that's what I need to do. If you just take a step back, maybe, rummage around, do something in your purse, whatever you have to do before you make a full decision, look at your phone, think about it. Your spirit guides will come in and say, hey, this is what could potentially go wrong. And you're like, got it. And then you allow that situation to play out and you go and have fun. You do what you're supposed to do, but you take care of all the small, minor details first. So let's look at your Halloween oracle cards. Mummy, change the lamp. Remember before you make a change to have clarity, okay? That's what this is. Remember bad situations that could potentially happen before you go into this new change within your life. Because here's the thing, you're going to have fun. You're going to have this great experience. Have that remembrance. Have that hermit's lantern. Allow yourself to be enlightened to the potential dangers to that situation and say, all right, got it, okay? It could be something as simple as you forgetting to turn your lights on when you go driving at night. Like, you're in a rush, you forget things like, no, I got my wallet, got my phone, I got my keys, let people know where I'm going, got my lights turned on in my car, I got, my phone plugged in, listening to the music before I leave. Like, it's all these small things. Don't just kind of like rush around and say, oh, I'm gonna, go meet up with this person to have a one-night stand. No. Plan it out, okay? You have nourish and flourish, and you have blaze a trail. Nourish and flourish the situation first. Nourish it, okay? Like what I said, make sure everything is put into place first, and then go and blaze a trail. Because here's the thing, that's kind of like Leo energy. So I kind of feel like you're going into like fixed fire, which is very important right here. Fixed fire energy, it's someone that can blaze a trail, right? Leos are people who can go out there and be exciting and have fun and have all these, grand experiences, but they make sure that everything's planned out to a T first. That's the thing between Leo and Aries that can cause a lot of conflicts, is that Aries are just like, oh, it's 2 a.m., let's go get food. Or, oh, I'm just going to go, sleep with that person. You don't really pay attention to all the dangers. Like, have you ever wanted to go and sleep with someone and then you looked at their profile and, all of a sudden you didn't realize it before that person's HIV positive? Like, there are all these small things that you could have just missed that could be very detrimental and cause tower moments. And I'm trying to be real with you. Like, I don't sugarcoat shit. Like, that's what it is. All right? Not saying that all the people are going to, make you sick out there, try to hurt you. I'm not trying to, if someone already has it, I'm not trying to make you feel less than or anything like that. I'm just saying, for you to go out there, make sure that you are 100% prepared for whatever you're about to do. Okay? You have Kinaz, torch, knowledge, new outlook, creation, understanding ideas, inspiration, and vision. Spiritual meaning, inner guidance and enlightenment. You need to be enlightened to the situation. You need to have like that hermit energy, okay? Have that hermit wandering around in the darkness. Sit there and wait for a second. All of a sudden, the hermit comes up, illuminates the dangers and the pitfalls to the planes. You're like, oh, let me make a swift change. We have answers coming out. Open your mind, connect with the higher power, broaden your horizons, and invoke wisdom. This is all about invoking wisdom, Aries. This is all about balancing out the scales right now. This is all about making sure your plans are foolproof, okay? You have the Fool coming out. What did the Fool have with it? It had the Nine of Wands and it had the Tower. I'm not saying that, something bad will happen to you, but there is the death energy right there. I'm not saying that death is going to befall you, but could happen to someone who's around you. Could happen to someone that, you care about very deeply. There's this Page of Cups energy, a small person, a young person. Be aware during this time period. Halloween's coming up. That could be like the end of October. Maybe people are wanting to go on haunted hay rides. Maybe people are wanting to go to haunted houses. All this stuff that you think, oh, it was fine when I was a young person. Yeah, granted it was. The world wasn't fucking as chaotic as it was when we were young people. Like, back in the 80s, 90s, people were pretty chill, pretty tame. So, like, that's what this is. All these people, they got air tags and all this other shit to stalk people, can hurt other people. People going out there spreading STDs on purpose, not being responsible people. It's just that energy. And because, there's so many parties popping up, you might want to go to a Halloween party and you're saying, hey, watch my drink, and you don't really know the person. What do? They put something in it. It's small things, all right? Now, I'm not saying to plague your mind, and make sure you're going with people you trust. Make sure you have that hermit illumination. Make sure you don't just change your plans without letting anyone know. That's what this is, okay, Aries? Make sure you have everything planned out before you go driving. Turn your lights on, plug your phone in, whatever you got to do. So anyway, Aries, this is just more like a warning message. Like, just be prepared, okay? And that's what it is. I know I keep reiterating it. However, that's what the cards are saying. That's what the cards are telling me to tell you over and over again. There's no new situation to this, all right? So, I hope you enjoyed this reading, and I'll talk to you later.